have besides the overlays. It's that song I played. It's probably gonna be muted after this stream ends, but fuck it. I like it. It's my stream. I play it. So, pretty much to give you the gist, I've overhauled my whole stream setup. The overlays, the commands, and now just everything else in the stream. So I will say this right away, you guys now have more options in how you can use your channel points. Like, for example, this would be funny. Takes a moment.
Hey guys, welcome to Leniri's stream. As for me, I'm basically the American sounding version of Rin or Ahara in English.
Yeah, when I try to make Rin's voice with that AI-ish thing in Tangia, like it just came out with that. Just makes her sound like she's singing and shit. But yeah, basically, I now have TTS redeems on my channel, and the Rin one was a custom made one, and I have some preset ones already ready to go. Like for instance, I have one of Joey Diaz. So pretty much now you guys have a reason to save up your channel points if you want to type, if you want to use TTS to talk to me instead of just typing where I had to look at the chat and then see what you said. Makes it convenient for me. Which completes one part of the topics that I wanted to bring up in my stream today. But I'll play the ones that are already pre-made. Like the Joey Diaz one that I'm talking about. See how this one sounds in his voice.
Mr. Falcone is bringing us into the family tonight. We're going to be made.
So, yeah, there you go. It'll make it convenient for me to see what you guys are saying if you're using the TTS commands. I'll still look at the chat every so often whenever I get the chance, but yeah, this makes it easier. so that one's done. So on to the other things to talk about. So if you're one of my semi-older followers, you might remember me streaming Scrap Mechanic a lot at one point back in 2023 and 2024. And I stopped playing the game in 2024 since I pretty much already completed what it had to offer in its initial stage. But I've been hearing recently that the devs finally are getting the game to 1.0. Not only giving us Chapter 2, but pretty much now completing the game entirely. Which is one hell of a surprise. That's just the fan base has been teasing Chapter 2 and making memes about it for years. Us thinking that the game wouldn't be complete until the devs announced that. To me, I thought they were just gonna finally bring Chapter 2 to the game, but I guess the reason why they took so long, and then what they posted recently, it's now officially justified. Just, if only they'd given us like a proper explanation to how they do their game development, instead of just like leaving us in the dark as they usually do, then that would have helped. That would have helped with what they posted to justify how they developed their game. Sometimes Swedish developers tend to leave you in the dark, although it's developers in general after a game's been completed or they update it and then just stay radio silent for a while. Or for a long time. But yeah, if you've seen me stream that game a few years ago, I'm pretty much gonna hop back into it now. Now that they've announced that they're gonna be completing the game's development and then debuting Chapter 2 alongside it, which I've been preparing for it since everything's gonna change and my old worlds are no longer gonna be compatible. So I'm pretty much, once I reinstall the game, I'm gonna start a fresh new save and then just start from completely from scratch with new enemies to deal with. Hopefully it doesn't get like overwhelming for me. Only time it became overwhelming was when I had to raid the warehouse. And they still keep coming. So I guess now Scrap Mechanic, after what? Actually, now 10 years in development, finally is being completed. Since the game debuted back in 2016 as an early access game. And when it was still a creative sandbox game, still is, just now with survival mode and challenge mode added onto it. And then the whole revamped style. If the devs couldn't just be straightforward with how they developed the game, then pretty much the fan base already has you covered. Which leads to a video that I watched semi-recently. It was like a month before they released the announcement that the game's going to be finished by the end of this month, on why it's taking so long for the devs to update Scrap Mechanic. It went really well in depth about how they first initially developed the game and then the following years leading up to now. It was pretty well explained, and at least that painted a much more clear perspective on how the devs were developing the game. And then with that in mind, and then now with what they posted recently, like it now pretty much is justified. And I guess by the time they release the new content, like I think they I think at this point we'll just forgive them for taking so long. And also for being radio silent, I guess, but still, would be nice to let your player base know what you're doing besides these side updates or something. What do you think, Mentos? Oh, if you see on my if you see your points, Mentos, I now have new redeems. If you want to play around with them. So yeah, I still have the game. I still have Scram Mechanic in my library since it is also one of my favorite games that I've ever played. Since it's basically just reminded me of Minecraft, but you get to be a mechanic. So basically, what I'm gonna do, and also, this will lead into Water Park in a minute. I'm surprised that it will beat Water Park Simulator to its 1.0 release, since the 1.0 update will be coming a week before Water Park Simulator releases its 1.0 update at the end of this month. So it'll be interesting to see how how Scrap Mechanic does once it finally releases to 1.0. I'm expecting bugs to happen, so I'm just basically preparing myself for that. Yeah, which I won't play the game on the day of its update. I'm just gonna wait a few days like I usually do, and then start playing the game now that it's completed. But yeah, I hope, or if the devs ever see this, which I doubt they would, I hope this is just a reminder and to all the people that I've told them, like a reminder to just keep your fans informed and well updated about your development instead of leaving them in silence, like a few devs. Now to Water Park Simulator. So the release date's already clear now that they've announced it. The game will be brought to 1.0 on July 31st, which will be a week after Scrap Mechanic enters 1.0, which was July 24th. July 24th this month, so in a few weeks. What I've been wanting to see from Water Park Simulator since they teased it a couple months back, or that they've mentioned it in their dev blogs, was your character customization. However, I'm starting to see some, not flaws, but I'm starting to see some things that are probably gonna throw me off. No, not throw me off. What's the word? What I'm seeing in the character customization that they're teasing, it's not really convincing me that much in certain aspects. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. Oh yeah, also, I for this, I went with Nightbot to do my commands now instead of Stream Elements, which I haven't used before, so this is the first time that I've actually used Nightbot. It's going well, Crow. How are you? So yeah, I went with Nightbot, and I got my default posts going, like my socials and stuff. and my len commands are now online. One of them I've discontinued, so I've only got those two currently. Which also means that I now have my Discord link back up and running. You start to do the application process and all, and then I or my moderators have to approve these so that you can enter the Discord. Basic TLDR of it for security reasons, and then Discord not being that great these past few months. So, better safe than sorry. Yeah, all the games that I currently play up to now. Which will probably be updated soon once I debut DRG Rogue Core in a few days. So, anyways, getting back to Water Park Simulator, yeah. So, character customization, not so sure it will live up to what I expect out of it. But besides that, they're also adding more stuff to the water park that you can build onto it, like a lazy river and then custom slides, which will be interesting because I do like to build stuff in games, so that'll be interesting to try out. Assuming that it's not too buggy, because otherwise they would have to go back in and do a bunch of patching, which is to be expected. Because the game was riddled with a lot of bugs when I first played it, and back in February. Now, not so much since they've got a better handle of how the bugs are. Well, I have two saves. Well, one of them I've already practically beat the game in my personal save. The other one I'm still on 3 stars for my water park. I'm just barely expanding it as of right now. So probably pretty much. So probably, or by the time the game enters 1.0, I'll pretty much have new stuff to play around with for my water park and truly make it my own. But the water slides, I've probably got a few ideas. Let's just say a few sexy ideas. Let's just put it at that. So I think I've got that covered. I'm guessing you just came in, Crow. I'll try not to. I'll probably most likely mirror like the water slides from Not Soak City or something like that. Basically, they made one that goes too fast and, well, it kind of kills people. You know, it's funny you say that because Water Park Simulator, they have like the final slides and they basically are one of the most dangerous ones. Schlitterbahn Water Park. So water park inspired by German stuff. You know they've engineered, you know with a name like that, they've engineered the fuck out of those slides. Also, do you see your channel points below, Crow? And if you do, tell me how many you have at the moment. Great. Oh, okay, damn. You've been collecting. 10-year-old kid was decapitated on the Verduct water slide. Interesting because Verduct means. Like I said, engineered the hell out of. Like with a German sounding water park name like that, like you know the water slides are going to be heavily engineered. Now, I mentioned that because I now have brand new commands you can play around with. More specifically, I got text-to-speech commands now. And I have 2 custom-made ones, because I couldn't find the voices in the pre-made text-to-speech ones in Tangia. First one's Rin from Action Time, and then basically I've just given her like an American English accent. And then Driller from Deep Rock Galactic, because none of those exist in the pre-made ones. Tangia really needs to up their pop culture game and get new text-to-speech voices. Then you should, right, of course. Yeah, then you should know what to do by then. But yeah, if you want, go ahead and play around with one of them. If you want to chat with me that way. I made them fairly affordable, as you could see, which none of them I have over 1,000 channel points. Although I have been thinking about adjusting the prices as this goes, but most likely no. It's all a test of patience, basically. Like, if you really want to use that command, then you really gotta be patient and watch me. Good things come to those who wait and all that stuff. So yeah, just to wrap up on Water Park Simulator, the 1.0 update's pretty much gonna be coming at the end of the month, a week after Scrap Mechanic gets its 1.0 release. Just see what I do with my Twitch Water Park. See how that goes. No, you'll like this. Coming to Horizon Walker. A lot of new stuff. New stuff for Nari. Once again, after she got her cow bikini, now a sling bikini. She got a micro bikini now.
Some say he appears on postage stamps in Uruguay and that he spears fish with his tongue. All we know is he's called the Stig.
Yeah, I got Jeremy, Joey Diaz, Rick Harrison, and then Cortana from Halo, if you're interested. A good show. At least what's called Top Gear Classic, the one where it had Jeremy, James, and Richard, which they're basically considered the Top Gear Classic crew. Yeah, when I was browsing like TTS commands from Tanjobot, I was looking for like different voices, like let's say Johnny Cash, for example. That didn't exist. What was another one? Because when I was also browsing and they had Nixon on there, which he's already a fucking meme of a president. But I'm surprised Reagan's not on there. I'm surprised because you have Nixon there, but not Reagan for the Texas speech. What else was I looking for? It was like I was looking for like this Texas speech command where it was like a certain YouTuber. Well, one of them was Count Dankula, but his voice isn't there. Probably for obvious reasons. Probably for obvious reasons with Count Dankula. But surely someone out there's already made like a text speech voice of him. Even though like they couldn't get his Scottish accent well. Because apparently the Scottish accent is hard to replicate, let alone a British accent. It was like some other YouTuber's voice that I was looking into, but then it was also for another. It was like for an actor's voice. I believe I was also trying to look for Eddie Murphy's voice, but he didn't exist. Steve Harvey. No. Yeah, no, Steve Harvey, his voice doesn't exist in Tangia. Who else? I was also looking for Afro Man's voice, but his didn't exist either. It was just those voices that I wanted to have in my TTS commands, but they didn't exist. So, like I said, Tangia needs to step up their pop culture game and getting more TTS voices.
For the last time, Chief, I will not dress up like Hatsune Miku for you. Can that Vocaloid bitch maintain your shields and hack into Forerunner artifacts? I don't fucking think so. Baka.
Okay, Tsundere.
So, yeah.
Okay, Tsundere. Yeah, Cortana and Rin are like the only female voices that I have. There was Lola Bunny, but wasn't really that interested. Oh, speaking of female voices, I was trying to look for like mostly like Action Time Minute or Horizon Walker ones, but Tangia doesn't have that either. In which those games are still like very new, which is why, well, specifically with Rin, I had to make her from scratch with the whole AI shit. It was the same with DRG. They also didn't have like the dwarves' voices, which is why it led me to make Driller's voice using the whole AI thing. in Tangia. I'm just saying Tangia needs more voice TTS from other pop culture characters and celebrities because they are lacking. Oh, Rin's character from the game that I play, Action Taimanen. She's a video game character from the game Action Taimanen, the one that I stream a lot on the channel. Technically, she is an anime character, but she mainly appears in the game Action Taimanen a lot. In which she does appear in the game's main story, so technically, she is in an anime, but a playable anime, if that makes sense. So, and then I decided to go with Rin because I liked to have her as a TTS command, as a TTS character. Tan1. No, that would be Ingrid. Rin's the vanilla skinned lady with purple hair and a purple Taimanen outfit. And then the one who dual wields two swords. When you said tan, I was thinking of Ingrid, since she has a tan skin. Or not carrying a shitload of kunai between your fingers. But I'm getting a bit off topic. Back to Horizon Walker. So yeah, a lot of new stuff. New outfits for Nori. 2 new characters. No, 3 new characters coming up. One that's being teased in like the, or it's probably in the new event going on in the game. A Shrine Fox Lady, or Fox Lady. And then a character that won in a character creation contest in the devs Discord called Shuza. And the design of her is she's basically like a big titty gangster street lady that holds like a custom made bat that she just probably beats the shit out of enemies with. I would like to say it's like a overly custom made baseball bat, but it's probably a kanabo. It's probably more like a kanabo, considering all like the spiky stuff on it. No. Hard mode's optional if you want to get like the higher tier rewards. I assume you probably have already completed it since right now it's part 1. Since the way how the events work in Horizon Walker, you have part 1, and then later down the line you get part 2 right after. Which is why, like, you notice on like the reward shop, like it has, like it's like well over a month till it expires. Yeah. Yeah, that's what Chuza's gonna have. It's just basically like an overly decorated kanabo / baseball bat that's used to club the shit out of enemies. Well, the abominations in this case in Horizon Walker. But the only reason I'm looking forward to her is, you know, because she has big titties. I'm wondering how big her tits are. If they're like the same size as Nari's or much bigger than hers. That's the only reason that I'm interested in getting her. It's because of her wreck. And then also that Fox Shrine? No, that Fox Spirit Vanguard that's also coming next month. I'm also looking forward to getting her because up to now the game has not had a single Fox Spirit character. They've had cat ladies, but Fox Spirits, no. Not yet. Until what's coming up. Excuse that. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to what they got coming up. And I've got a lot of credits saved up, so it's only obvious I'm going to be saving up for those two. And then maybe that that new Vanguard that they've teased in the new event. More vicious. Well, shit, if that's the case, that just gives the human god a reason to tame her, like he's done with the other vanguards. He's already tamed 3 cats, befriended 2, dog-like sword fighters. And they say befriended because they're both males. And they wouldn't go, and they would be stupid enough to go up against a literal god. Although the other vanguards have tried, but they all clearly failed. Interesting. Also, I don't know if this is catching on my microphone, but yeah, recently I've had home renovation and the new floors. I don't know how echoey it would sound on my streams. Hopefully not too much, since I've already got mic. Oh, what's the word? Since I have what's that word? I have mic deafening settings. There we go. Set up for my mic when I use it to stream, in which I increased the volume a lot, so my voice can be heard more than the game that's being captured in the background. If I'm streaming a game, of course. So, Kuhimo instead of Kitsune. So I guess Kitsune would be the Japanese version, and the Kuhimo would be like the Korean equivalent. Yeah, if you can't, then I probably can't either. Sometimes you're gonna have missions and the events that are gonna be a pain in the ass to 3-star. And I wouldn't blame you. Although, unless you have like very strong vanguards, like I do at this point, then it would be possible. But if it's like a very, very tight requirement, then yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to 3-star. I've had to mute for a moment. Mm-hmm. So, right, that next new character that they're bringing in is looking like another Orca type character. So, a third addition to the Orca vanguards like Nari and Shuza, or Nari and Shuha. I do want to get the well, the next Vanguard. It just depends on how she looks and how she fights, but mostly how she looks. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm gonna move on to the next thing to talk about. Just include so 3 new Vanguards to look forward to getting. Their signature weapons. I'm not sure if I'm able to get those in time, because the gacha in that game can vary. And then just recently, when the new banners came in, I saw Nari's signature weapon. I managed to get that 2 pulls, so I now have that to work on to give to her. And right now, I'm trying to get what I originally called Afreed, basically a fire spirit vanguard. She's called Afridi, which I'm trying to get her right now. Signature weapon, I'm not gonna bother getting that. I'm just gonna give her whatever I have currently. It's like a strong weapon to give her until her, either I get it through the regular gacha or her signature weapon comes back in the rerun. So yeah, a lot to look forward to in the following weeks for Horizon Walker, which I will be streaming that new event soon enough.
Where do you have like the little
Okay. Done with talking about Chusa and the stuff that's coming to Horizon Walker up right now and then in the coming weeks. I've already talked about the new text-to-speech redeems. So let me switch scenes. So I still have my follower goal up and running, but I now have a new goal type subs goal, and I'm just starting out small, since at the moment, like, not many people right now are able to like sub to me at the moment, unless they want to. It's up to them. But basically, yeah, I now have a subs goal set up, and then every time that goal is achieved, I'm just gonna be the subs goal. I'm gonna do it differently from the followers goal, because the followers goal I usually increase by 100 each time I complete it. Yeah, the followers goal, I increase that by 100 each time I complete the goal. For the subs goal, every time I complete the goal, I am going to be increasing that by 5 each time, rather than do it by 10, because 10's definitely asking for a lot. So I'm just going to keep it relatively small intervals every time I achieve my subscriber goal. So you'll pretty much be seeing that every time I stream games now, this subs goal on alongside my followers goal. So, since I started to stream early this morning, thinking about going back to morning streams, if that isn't too much for me. No, I can do it. It's just wondering how I want to do it. Because I'm also working IRL, so I'm wondering how I can squeeze the time frame of streaming in the morning, then having a little brief moment to myself to like get ready for work and stuff, and then heading straight to work. Assuming that I'm not working in the morning, so I can stream during the morning. Probably gonna have it to where I might just consider this where if I'm working in the morning, then I just stream at night. If I'm working in the morning, then I just no. If I'm working in the morning, I stream at night, and if I'm working at night, then I'll just stream in the morning. I am still just gonna do the usual 3 hours. I am still just gonna do the usual 3 hours of streaming, unless I want to finish a little early and stuff. And I'll still raid out to someone when I'm about to end my stream. Or I don't, if I don't find anyone interesting, depending on the time frame that I stream at. Or depending if I stream in the morning or at night. If that is the case, I won't commit to going back to streaming completely in the morning. I'll probably like do a mix of like morning streams and night streams. Probably do it like that. But I probably would also give myself like a day in between of not streaming, just if I'm planning to do that. Like a day off of not streaming, and I could just focus on something else. I'm hoping that I don't have any problems coming into my morning streams. Like, nothing that will take my time away gets in the way if I do decide to do morning streams. Because from what, at least from how I've been streaming up to this point, my night streams, I can pretty much guarantee that I'll be streaming during the night without any disruptions. But now with the new floor that I have installed in my house, I feel like the echoing is going to be a bit of an issue when I stream at night. Mainly because that's when my family's trying to sleep. So I'm wondering how I can stream at night now knowing that there's like a little echo. I guess I just have to be talking a bit quieter, almost like ASMR level talking. If that's what it takes so that to prevent that echo.
Nah, you can't resist, boy. You can't resist some good old titties, boy.
You just can't. Inspired by the game itself, I decided to make my own version of a time and an outfit in the theme of a cow lady who is also a shinobi. Yeah, I definitely liked how.
Oh, wow.
I like her moxie right there. I definitely like her moxie. So now you should see why I decided to get her instead of Micah.
I want to punch the guy in R&D who programmed Molly.
Rockin' Stone forever!
Stone! For rockin'!
Have those abilities since they're more convenient for me whenever I'm like spamming on my mouse or using my spacebar. This goes. It's the same with like Korean animators and artists. Like, goddamn, can they make good shit? Especially within the animation side of things. Like, goddamn, are they that good? Or, put it this way, anything that a Korean. No. Boy, I ain't gonna repeat myself. You take that poetry, you take it good. To Maureen. Dress up, darling, to Maureen. I need all the pussycats. I need them all. I just gotta catch them all. Although I am content with Leah here.
Actually, it's a semi-automatic assault rifle, get it right. It's not a machine gun, it's actually a semi-automatic machine rifle.
Alright, I'm back. So, yeah, like I said, I'll try to. I'm probably gonna do like a mix of morning and night streams in between the week. See how that goes. And just TLDR, my morning streams, like assuming no bullshit happens, it should go fine. My night streams, I can guarantee it just had to be a little more quieter just to avoid that echo, or to avoid too much noise that my family, so that my family can try to sleep. Because of the echo that occurs now that I got the new flooring in my house. Okay, on to the next thing to talk about. Just reflecting on my streaming event, my May Moreno-thon event that I ran last month and in May. Compared to all the events that I did in the past, the May Moreno-thon did well. Could have gone a little better, but I feel like it did pretty well compared to my past events when I used to have less followers. I just feel like the May Moreno-thon was a lot more engaging compared to the past. For past events, it was like a mix of just milestone, or it was mostly just like charity events that I've done, and then a few milestone streams. But none of them were as eventful compared to the May Moreno-thon. So I have the May Moreno-thon as a footnote of my streaming history now, and what I can do better the next time I do an event, in which my 6th streaming anniversary is coming up. So I'll need to come up with something for that. Hello, you've arrived. And with that, I've got new redeems Caldor. Well, you probably already know since I've already mentioned it in the Discord. Yeah, so I started streaming like an hour ago, so yeah. Mostly missed like a majority of what I've talked about. Yeah, redeems were one of them. I have new text-to-speech redeemed now. Go to your points, or do you see your channel points? Go there, and then you should see the redeems from there. Like the Hello Lucy, and then underneath you should see the TTX, the text-to-speech ones. Mm-hmm. Pick anyone that fancies your interest. You're seeing this on PC, right? Or you're watching my stream on PC, right? Okay, so I got two of them, but no idea how to use them. As in, you discovered the two text to speech. So basically how it works, you just select it and then you just type in what you want it to say. Pretty much like you do with like typing in chat, but having a text-to-speech bot say what you want it to say. I also have a driller text-to-speech one if you want to try that one out. Like DRG's driller. Okay, I'm assuming that you're seeing this on your phone, so you would just have to scroll down and then find the redeem there. Unless you are on your PC, then just basically that. Just select your channel points and then scroll down to find the commands. Yeah. Okay, so you found the highlights command. Yeah, just open it up, and obviously you'll see the first three redeems. Just scroll down, and then you should find the text-to-speech commands. Well, you select it, and then you just type whatever you want it to say, and then post it. There we go. Takes a little bit. Try it again. It apparently didn't pick up that one. Or unless it's delayed. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's a bit delayed. But yeah, pretty much that's how it works. You just select the redeem, type in what you want to say, and then it'll do that.
Go, bears.
There you go. Yeah, the same thing with Driller. I try to match his voice with like the custom TTS thing. And that's the best I can do.
Be polite, be professional, and have a plan to kill everyone you meet. Always carry a knife, because there might be a cheesecake to cut, a box to open, or you might have to stab someone.
Professionals have standards. Yeah, just play around with the. You'll get the hang of it. Yeah, just keep playing around with the commands and you'll get the hang of it. Just make sure you have plenty of channel points. In which, by now, you should definitely have plenty. Imagine that you'll have like, what, over 3,000 points, Caldor? Or like 5,000? So, well, there you go.
20K.
Well, you got more than enough then. Mm. Yeah. It's just like the prompt of how the text-to-speech thing works. So, not much I can do about it. Unless otherwise, Tangia had that option to where it hides the commands as opposed. But yeah, that's pretty much how the prompt is. It'll just show what you wanted to say in the chat. With it saying redeem text-to-speech channel points. Like the one, like the Cortana one that played a minute ago. Yeah, I pretty much wanted to introduce the text-to-speech just so that you guys can pretty much just save up your channel points and chat using the text-to-speech if you like. Of course, you gotta have the points to use them. And which the Cortana, Rin, and Triller have made the more premium ones. That's at a low price of 600 channel points. Which many other Twitch streamers, they usually have those for much higher. So I feel like I've made a more cost-efficient option. Or I made the commands more cost-efficient. So, getting back to what I was talking about. Yeah, so regarding the Mayor Marathon, overall, like, it did pretty well compared to my past streaming events that I've held in the past. Which is something that I'm pretty much gonna take, or that I'm reflecting and taking with me, so that the next time I do another event, I do a much better job with it. That's all. And then, considering that my 6th anniversary is coming up, definitely should do something. Definitely should do something special. Since I didn't do my 5th anniversary last year, kind of did, but I just did like a regular stream. Just basically did a low-key one. So, yeah, these past 2 weeks, which is a week after I ended my event stream. It was a pretty interesting 2 weeks, so I won't go into detail, mainly for privacy reasons, since it mainly involved, well, for one of them, it mainly involved one of my family members uh, being in critical condition. They're fine now. It's just been an interesting 2 weeks because of all this furniture I had to move just to get the new flooring in my house up and running. Then my family member had being in critical condition, in which they recovered. Then also moving the stuff back into place, which I still gotta do after I end this stream. Stuff to move back, basically. I've already helped my family move the majority of the stuff back into our rooms. I still got more stuff to move back, and then that's it. But in other words, just backbreaking work. It's just basically backbreaking work, and then on top of that, I was also working, so I was just exhausted. Or more specifically, my body was exhausted, not me completely, since I didn't feel that sleepy, just my body was exhausted after lifting so many things. Well, at least, well, if anything, I've already done the majority of the heavy lifting already. It's just basically stuff that doesn't weigh as much as the heavy stuff, and then some small items to take back in. So I can give my back a little break. My legs, on the other hand, they've been sore as hell. Funny enough, no. Because I was just lifting with my legs and not my back. As you should when lifting heavy stuff. Which is why my legs were just exhausted after those days. Put it this way, it felt like I can barely walk normally. That's how exhausted my legs were. Yeah, just my legs were that exhausted, I could barely walk around. And then on top of that, I had to go to work at night, which also made my body exhausted further. But on the bright side, I gained a bit of muscle in the process. Just a little. Hmm. Yeah, I'm starting to question that with my dad, and he's already about to hit 60 next year. Yeah, I'm starting to question that myself with my dad, since he's already about to hit 60 next year. Right, I'm just gonna show you my new overlays Keldor since you just came onto the stream. So I'm just gonna show you each one for like a brief second. The last one I'll show when I'm ending the stream. Sorry to hear that. So I got the... So what I did with the legacy screen, I decided to add my voice to it whenever I'm like modified my settings of the game or I had to make some changes on my computer real quick, which is where this comes in. And then I'll show you the premiering screen. Then the live screen, even though I'm not playing a game right now. But yeah, basically have the sub-skull set up, which I've talked about earlier in the stream. And then my BRB screen. At least according to the description, she's basically two brains in one body. So it makes sense. Basically the same thing that I had with the previous BRB screen, but I now have like some little fun facts playing in the mix. Wide load, wide ass. Like Yui. Well, my actual room, I did, but you have to remember I have my computer in a corridor where the entry of the second floor is at. So, well, where I have my computer at, no. Which is why you now hear that echo because of the new floor that I have on. Nope. Don't even have the room to put it in there. Because I share a bedroom. It is what it is. What can I do? When there's very limited space. My only options are either move out myself or wait till my little brother moves out. Then I'll pretty much have the room to myself. Oof. That's the worst. That's the worst place to leave your PC, especially when it has a high chance to fall. Yep, and it sealed their fate right there. Also, it definitely makes that overheat more, doesn't it? When it's like touching a surface of the roof that's like close to wood. Hmm. Still bad, but worst case scenario, they just use duct tape to slap it on the roof and call it a day. Yeah. Philo. Same with me whenever I type on my phone. Either my thumbs are fat or my phone's not big enough. Even on landscape. Yeah, sorry to hear about that, Chrome. I'd go with that. Hmm. This is a lot. Shit, the last time I've had my own room was back when I was a kid. Back when I was like, I don't know, 7 years old. Or the last was like when I was like, I don't know, 11. And that was the last time I've ever had my own room. Because after that, my family was just moving a lot, in which I had to start sharing a bedroom. So put it like, I don't know, now well over 16 years since I've last had my own room. Nowadays, well, still live in my home, but decided to help my family out financially mainly just giving my share to the house and the phone bill. That's it. Now that I'm pretty much working. I've already started doing that at the beginning of the year. Just pretty much helping my dad out with reducing his payments since we're giving our share. So you still have like the little bit square next to your name. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna finish this off and then wrap up and rate someone. Yep, so pretty much a lot to do, both for me and for the stream coming up. Definitely gonna be streaming tomorrow and then later down the line. Then some IRL stuff that I want to do finally. Do the same, and then the same with like helping out family members with computer stuff, which I pretty much do at this point, since my parents aren't that tech savvy. Well, okay. Oh, your cat stepped on your keyboard. But yeah, both my parents aren't that tech savvy, so I'm just helping them out whenever I can. My dad's gotten a bit better, but my mom still barely even understands how to use a computer. Yeah. And it was also thanks to me that I managed to help my dad out with acquiring documents and moving house, since everything was on the computer that he needed to do himself. Technically, he has been around computers, but not personal computers, since the computers he uses at his job works differently. Somehow she barely knows how to use an iPhone. Somehow she barely knows how to use an iPhone. So now that you brought that up, Cruella, what type of cat do you have? I think we'll just end it with that. Orange cat. Yeah, I think that's where we'll end the stream there. So let me see what I can read off to. Doubt anyone that I'm following right now is live, except for a few. Yeah, no. let me see if anyone's streaming Rogue Core at the moment. I'll just give that to someone playing Rogue Core. Okay, so you got a few. So yeah, about this guy. Let me see if they're accepting raids. Okay, player. So Hazel has a lot of games. They're playing DRG Rogue Core. Or they're streaming DRG Rogue Core, I should say. So I'll just send you guys to them. See what they're doing. As for me, I'll be back tomorrow night with some action time and then finally get Shizu and try her out. So, see ya.